My mother, sister, and I used to love wine. We would wine taste on family vacations. And then on one of those trips is where I really had kind of the wake-up moment that my drinking had become problematic. In October 2020, I said things I regretted. I tried and failed a lot of times to be fully sober.
I am not still sober, which has been intentional.
That's when I started posting on TikTok.
I drank on Sunday when I got some really bad news. How I'm gonna get through the day without drinking? Am I gonna drink tonight? Am I gonna relapse?
I was just sharing how I was so scared to not drink at all. And I read a lot of fully sober literature, but that just hasn't really worked for me.
Okay, now, right now, you say that you're really where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you've found a comfort zone.
Yes, I've found a comfort zone. I think you always are gonna feel some kind of pressure, but I'm where I want to be right now.
Okay, and you said you tried going 100% sober, and that just didn't work for you.
No, I couldn't do it. It was really hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard to get sober.
Now, what was the hardest thing about it?
Honestly, I think what really was challenging for me was the finality of it and thinking about the forever of never drinking at another first date or at my wedding or in that celebratory way.
Really? So
Yeah.
it wasn't the craving. It was the thinking
No.
of toasting at New Year's or at a wedding or social pressure with your friends. It wasn't that gnawing that you had to have a drink.
No, yeah, I would say it wasn't really the craving itself. I mean, I love to drink. I love wine. It's a big part of my family relationship and traveling, as you guys saw earlier.
Well, in October 2020, you actually had alcohol poisoning.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Self-diagnosed, but I've never been so sick in my entire life.
So you drank yourself sick.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Myself, which is
And-
interesting, poisoning yourself.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, that would make you think, maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, and my sister, who's normally hungover with me the next day, was there sober, waking up feeling great, so.
Yeah, and you started drinking more during the pandemic, as a lot of people did.
100%.
Because you had time, and a lot of people say they were bored, they had time, it was like them and the bottle, and thought, well, you know, we should get
Yeah.
together.
And just to turn off. I think people drink for different reasons.
Sure.
My drinking is to just flip the switch, you know? And when the pandemic was raging and we're stuck at home, I hadn't seen anyone in months, it was the only thing to do, to just turn it all off for a second.
Was it
Yeah.
self-medication?
I guess so. If the result that you want is a quiet mind and alcohol gives you that and you drink alcohol yourself, yeah, I guess it's self-medicating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you couldn't watch your favorite reality TV
Yeah.
because they're like heavy drinking and it was suggestive.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because I've gone through periods of trying to get sober, as we've talked about. And when I was trying to not drink at all, I couldn't watch all this reality television and even fictional shows that kind of glamorized it because I craved it. And then after where I'm at now, I still watch a lot of that stuff. But when you watch people just being not themselves when they're inebriated and when they're hungover the next day, it's kind of a turnoff to watch that
Yeah,
now on the
sure.
other side.
Now, you've heard what she's saying. How many of you think that social pressure is part of the reason you drink? Because you go somewhere and it's a party and people are drinking, so that's just what you're doing. Raise your hand if you think that plays a part. Not that it drives you, but it plays a part. That's just kind of part of our social pattern. Okay. Would you feel out of place if you weren't drinking?
Lucky you guys.
Yeah, well, some people would and some people wouldn't. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.